Bertha has spoken. Okay, we have a little lighting issue here. Let's get the lights going. Welcome, folks. This is day 2 for me. And for some of you, you'll be starting or getting ready to start. So there we go. If you haven't done a cleanse, then it's good to start with, like, it's good not to write a 30-page thesis, the first time you write. And so, I'm going into this because it's sort of the raw truth that it's going to help me help others. I'm already much clearer than I was when I started. I actually started last Friday. I went off coffee, and that was sort of getting ready for. It makes the cleanse funner just to be off of a few things before. Some people go right up to the last minute, and indulge the night before. And yeah, Sunday I had a little treat that was a fruit tort, and so I kind of paid the price starting the cleanse on Monday, and then today there was a much more clarity. So I have a little video for us today, and so day 2, there's sort of the plan, like the 21-day example I showed you guys, and then there's the reality. And so the things I contend with in my personal life, a few of people that know me know that we're all doing our best to navigate, especially those of us that are aware of what's really going on compared to the ones under the spell, the ones under the enchantment. And there's no doubt we're under our own sort of enchantment, but it's really, this is hard to judge. Like I said, that kind of lack of clarity, this color is kind of a problem, isn't it? All right, we'll leave it like that. So the clarity is why I cleanse. And so I'm going to go into a little video on how to increase and decrease cleansing, and if cleansing is clarity, is the acceleration of stuff out of the body. We're going to have an insight came to me during meditation today to share crazy cleanse stories. So that'll be the title of today's video, is crazy cleanse stories. And I'm going to share one today about, and I was never a hemorrhoid guy, but I got what's called a bleeding hemorrhoid, but it wasn't a hemorrhoid. So I'll tell you about that in a minute, and I'll show you on a whiteboard kind of what I theorized the process was of my body getting rid of some waste product. So increasing cleansing means acceleration too. So if you go into a water fast, and even an air fast, you don't even drink water, then things can really ramp up really quick internally. But we're not going to be talking about that because that's not within our realm here today. So we're going to go to a screen share, and we're going to just view this video real quick. So here I am. This is 2018. And it's an old office I had in Dr. Sawyer's room.
That's how we make a better world, is by cleaning our internal filters out: air filter lungs, water filter kidneys, oil filter liver gallbladder, blood filter spleen, and food filter guts. But also including the oil filter, the lymphatic system to some degree, because oil is absorbed through the lymph system, not through the normal flow circulation. So welcome cleansers, welcome anyone. This is a free.
So for those of you that didn't quite get a handle on that, I'll chime in. So there's a bunch of filters in the body, and to help people conceptually understand how things are working, I try to have an experiential thing. So the spleen is sort of our blood filter. You could also say the liver is, but the liver has an oil filter function along with the pancreas and the lymphatic system. Then the kidneys are the water filter, lungs are the air filter. And so you've got all these different sort of filters, transformers. They're not so much filters as they are transmutation transformers, but we can use filter as a loose conceptual model. And so that's kind of what I was trying to say there. And I talked really fast. And so I figured maybe that'll help you guys.
Talk right now, which will be later put onto a membership site. But how to speed up and slow down a cleanse. This is Craig Lane with Health Alkemy, ALK as in kitten, ENY.com, healthalkemy.com. As you can see behind me is the apothecary lab, and that's one way to speed up and slow down a cleanse is with herbs. We have a chart that I sent out to my cleansing people, and that'll also be posted for free. And the chart kind of gives you a visual of how to speed up and slow down a cleanse, but I wanted to just do some little talk about it, and then we can have a little bit more. So I'm going to be looking to the side here at my chart, so forgive me. But really, in a nutshell, it boils down to some simple things. Is if you're going to do a fast, then that is the hardest cleanse. So a water-only fast is the hardest cleanse. The least cleansing is 100% cooked food. You will not detoxify on eating cooked foods. As a matter of fact, you will deplete your immune system, you will deplete your adrenals, you will deplete your gut's ability to work well by consistently eating only cooked foods. I don't care who you are, you need some raw food in your diet. This was tested long ago. So more raw is more cleansing. More raw means more enzymes. And as one teacher pointed out to me, raw enzymes, or enzymes in general, speed up the rate of reaction of the body. So if you want a slower rate of reaction, eat all cooked foods, sit in no light, and eat very little fruits and vegetables, and you will see eventually you'll get puffy and your thyroid will go down, because that's the thing that goes down after the adrenals. So the other way, so what I do is, it's not listed on the table here, but we talk about enemas too. So when we're cleansing or doing a fast, there's no bowel, there's no drainage via the bowel, because the bowels just stop, and then what's in there, the fecal matter will start to dry up more and more and stick to the bowel wall, like on the villi here. So that's what we do enemas, and enemas will definitely increase the speed of detoxification by offering better drainage via the colon and the portal circulation back to the liver. Tea time too, which slows cleansing for the most part. So I'm in the middle of mine. I'm probably past the halfway point. I'm not really monitoring it, because I'm going to go up until mid-February with this one, February 14th, 15th, kind of before Valentine's Day. And so I noticed I can speed up and slow down my cleanse. So if you want to speed up drainage, take more magnesium, take more bitter herbs, eat more raw foods, eat more leafy greens, do more juices, especially veggie juices. And as you work your way down, I want to clarify a couple of things. When I say do a clear broth to increase the speed of cleansing, that's in the context of fasting. So a broth fast, like in the wintertime, it's cold out where we are on the west coast of California, I mean, west coast of the United States, California, Central California. So when we talk about a winter cleanse versus a summer cleanse, the summer cleanse will have more juicing. The winter cleanse will have more clear broths, soups, and roots and things boiled in herbs or boiled in water and then strained out. So that's a clarification there. Anything that's pureed will increase cleansing. So if you have to cook it, cooked pureed not as good, raw pureed better, like a smoothie. Or you can do a pureed raw soup. That clarifies that. And there's a number of debate about, in my world, about raw meat and raw dairy. It's near the bottom of the cleanser chart, but there's actually a question mark, because if your metabolic type is set up that you need premium fuel, which is meat and dairy, especially dark red meats and dark meats, then you probably won't cleanse well unless you include a bit of that in your cleanse. And you'll see it on the chart here, that raw sprouted seeds, legumes, and grains. Now, for that type of person, that will be great to help them facilitate detox. But for the most part, when people who don't do well with carbohydrate-based foods, even if they're sprouted raw, they typically get gas, and gas is a sign you are not detoxing and you're not draining well, because the gas is a sign of internal irritation and inflammation to some degree. I get that. I'm a paleo type, metabolic type, what they call, a strong paleo or protein type. And then on the other side of it, it's the strong veggie type, as McCullough puts it, but I put it more like Wolcott does, William Wolcott. And you call it more of a carb type, although it doesn't mean you get tons of carbs. It just means that you burn carbohydrates well. And the other side of the equation, you don't burn carbs well. You eat protein and fat for energy. So as you'll see on the type of diet here, any cooked food will slow down. Grains and beans for most people, there's a lot of debate in my world. I tried the Khichdi thing, and I tried the Ayurvedic thing, and I tried the vegan thing, and for my type, it doesn't work well. But there's a type of person, probably half to 2/3 of the population, they do quite well in just eating Khichdi, beans and rice and veggies. I did it for a long time, and it works for short periods of time for my metabolic type. But if it's not your type, that's where you want to come in and see me in my office. And so when you start going from liquid to adding juices, to adding raw foods, to adding other foods after that, then that's when your cleansing will start to slow down. And then warmer weather, everything works faster in warmer weather. So detoxification works better in warmer weather. Any use of calorically high foods, especially overeating in excess, will slow down and maybe even stop detoxification. If you haven't rested and you're not resting well, you will not detox, guaranteed. If you're not getting enough of the right amount of activity, that's how they fit together. I tell people, if you aren't resting well, you're probably not getting enough activity during the day, especially if you're a blood type O. And then if you're getting that vicious cycle, where you're not sleeping well, you're not getting enough activity, then you don't sleep well, you don't have energy, and you don't want to do activity. The way to break it is just to go out there and tough it out. That's what I do. And just go for it and get a quick 10 or 15 minutes in. And quick tip, and then we'll probably end up stopping this, is quick tip. If you're doing a workout and you want to increase cleanse strength, get about 5 minutes in it. Just give yourself 5 or 10 minutes. And if you get into your workout and you start to feel better after 3 to 5 minutes of warm up and moving around a bit, then you know that your system is stagnant. It's a sign of stagnancy, because now you're feeling better when you get stagnant blood and chi moving. If you start to get 5 or 10 minutes into a workout and you're just noticing, well, I'm still dragging, and you're probably exhausted, and that's where you want to do little brief 3 to 5 minute windows, which is perfect segue to Craig Lane Health Alchemy YouTube channel. Use us. We have lots of 3-minute.
All right, folks. So I wasn't really planning on watching it that long, but I'm making mental notes of all the good. And so that's a clickable, folks, right out of the email. See, YouTube playlist, fall cleanse. And I just clicked that and then went to, well, we'll click it right now. You guys can see how you click that, and then it takes you to the playlist, the old playlist. And at the bottom there is, we might be able to open image a new tab. It's too small there, but that's the cleansing, increasing and decreasing cleansing chart. So if you wanted to find that chart, I have not tried to look. So you'd have to go to the main, get out of the seasonal folder, go into the main cleansing folder, and then, yeah, that's, this is a good question. So cleansing support documents, let's see if it's in there. Yeah, I don't see it in there. I'll have to look for it. That would be too bad if it's lost. Okay, I see. Cleansing Foundation 3. So looks like it's gonna have to look for it elsewhere. It's too bad. So if you go into the master sheet, though, increasing and decreasing cleansing, the way you could kind of figure that out just from the, and that link is the here are the resources link right there, by the way. So you go in there and you go, okay, there's lots of ideas on how to cleanse right here on this page. So right on page 2, lots of ideas on how to cleanse. And then there's some basic rules. So adding things back on this list will slow down your cleanse, basically. And then see ways to use the cleanse. Easiest, just follow the basic food chart, which we talked about yesterday, and then just take your herbs and supplements and you're done. You could add in some of the level 1 challenges. And then the mid-level, see high level sweating, the exercise, and then the highest level. Interesting, that highest level should be 1 over. That doesn't want to move over. Oh, well, we'll leave it there for now. So water fasting, you got to rest. And then these are all other ways, like the maximum level of cleansing is down here. You can only exercise in heavy sweat if you have vitality to do so. And then, so we're in week 1. I've kind of got tomorrow raw carrots, lots of chia, and I'm on the 21-day journal at least. So radishes and beets, raw carrots, and chia. So I'll probably end up making a beet salad. If you don't want to make a beet salad, there's products that have beets in them. Fresh beets are, of course, the best, but the Premier Research Labs has a fermented beet here. And then Standard Process has a Spanish black radish, which I believe is part of the cleanse anyway. I forgot. Sorry, folks. Yeah, it's part of the cleanse anyway, because radishes are part of the lung colon cleansing. So tomorrow is technically a work day for me. And then I also wrote the farmer's market. So I'll ride my e-bike to the farmer's market. And we go off of screen share now. So day 2 is usually day 2 to 4 or 5 are usually fairly easy in my world out of 21, because I'm sort of in the groove. I started a couple of days ago. The coffee cravings are down about 80-90%. And so there were some beatific dreams and states of being. There's a song by White Sun, and I don't know if any of you feel touched by music, but this particular song, it comes on, and if I breathe and let it sort of enter me, there's just tears that start pouring out my eyes. And today was the first joy I could honestly feel, an uncontrived joy I've felt in a few weeks. And that's part of the cortisol adrenaline cycle you get stuck in with coffee and excessive caffeine. And I spoke to that in one of the papers I wrote. I believe that I'm sort of a 30 to 50 milligrams a day kind of caffeine guy. And even today I was up around 6 grams. I was probably up around 100, 200, 300, somewhere between 300 and 400 milligrams without coffee, though. That's yerba mate and pu'er black tea. And then if you also include a little bit of kratom I used today, then they're great mood enhancing stuff. I'm going to say something vulnerable to those of you that probably don't know me, but I've had suicidal ideations for 37 years, starting at age 20. I'm 57 now. So my life is a smashing success in that sense, because I realized long ago that part of the bipolar blood sugar I had was a manic and then a depressive. So I had a teacher at junior college that said, stop eating so many potatoes and top ramens. And I really didn't know what I was doing. So I just lowered my sugar amount, and then sort of that bipolar depression went away. And then it sort of returned later in various forms. And then when I started, after I broke my neck at age 21, you would think, if somebody has a death wish, that's their chance to exit. And funny enough, I didn't exit, because I basically lost control of this vehicle I was driving, and I just let go of the steering wheel and said, whatever is going to happen, I'm in whatever's hands. I didn't believe in God. I did not believe in God. You could say I was agnostic. It's like, show me the proof. Despite the fact that I've been, had a very strange and unusual life in teenage years, it's sort of a hard head that the divine was trying to break through. And so the broken neck really caused a major transformation in my life. So that led to a deeper look, you might say. And so I started to see, through just changing a little bit of diet, just seeing through the character, the bipolar swings and the depression. And it's like the part that wants to die is counterbalanced by the part that's passionate about life. And so usually the part that's dying is a part. That's just what it is. It's a snake skin. It's a part that's dying off. And there's a great realization in this, that we're sort of always living and dying every moment. Like each breath is actually a new chance. And that was my meditation tonight, was to suck in as much air as I could possibly get in my body, and then push out as much as I could possibly push out. And that's the rhythm we're in right now. It's the metal element, the lung and the large intestine. They take in and let go. And that's our life right now. And so if our rhythms are off, oh, and by the way, the liver manages the smooth movement of chi. So if you've got too much burdening your liver, then your rhythms like this are going to be more like this. And certainly coffee is a liver irritant. And I'm going to tell you folks, many of us are running around numb, and we don't know we're numb, and we think we're not. But if you're on a stimulant, you're a little bit disembodied. I don't care who you are. And if you're on sugar, you're a little disembodied, and many of us just sell ourselves short. So I was curious, why can't all of us be curious about, maybe I could try something different, and not sell myself short. So today was definitely an upward climb for me. Going to bed at midnight. So the plan was to go to bed at 10, get up at 6. That's my intention for the 21 days. And that will remain. It's 10 o'clock right now, so it's not going to happen tonight. But it'll probably be midnight, maybe 1, when I finally get to sleep tonight. And so slept until 11 today. Tomorrow I can't do that. I've got an 8:30 commitment, 8:30 in the morning. So, I'll be up at 7 probably tomorrow. So no matter how much sleep I get, I'm going to honor my commitment. And then I'm also going to honor, I need to get out more. So the farmer's market has all the fresh fruits and vegetables, and I haven't been going much. So it fits in my schedule and my window to be able to go. And so that will also increase cleansings. I'll have fresh fruits and vegetables besides what I have in my garden here, which is quite significant on some days. Like on any given day, I might have enough strawberries, golden berries, raspberries, and garden herbs to make a smoothie, or a juice. So I feel very fortunate that nature has provided me bounty. And yes, I use my own urine, diluted extremely for the plants. And that was probably my only fertilizer besides well-tended soil and composted soil and stuff I bought from the nursery for the new potted plants. But you can't believe it, folks. What a blessing urine is in our lives. We've just been brainwashed. And, maybe in the future we'll have like fancy jars you can put it in. And, like I have a sealed jar I put mine in. And then, pretty much every day it's going out onto the land somewhere. And then it's not going into the toilet, into the septic system with all the toxic chemicals, which is one of the biggest lies of cleansing. In the cycle of the earth is naturally cleansing. And so our nitrogen in our urine and our feces gets broken down by the gut bugs and actually builds the soil up. It just needs to be buried is all. And so that's why they have the chicken tractor, for example. You have a human tractor, get your composting toilet, I have a teepee idea. You just put a teepee down and you've got a movable, toilet. And you just dig a little hole, do it there, compost over it, put a bunch of soil and dirt over it, and then you just move to the next spot. And then guaranteed within a year that soil is gone off if there's any bad bugs in it. That's the study from John Jenkins' work. I believe that was Human Manure Handbook. But I digress. So hope you had a good time watching the video tonight. And day 3 is tomorrow. So if you're starting or doing one yourself, you can draw inspiration from the fact that it doesn't matter how we feel. Somebody said, I'm very inspired by you and your persistence. And to me, it's just, I'm just following orders from the switchboard at this point. And if I don't follow orders from the switchboard, it's like the gap between where my highest part is and where my lowest part is. If there's a big gap, that's usually when we suffer. So I'm just aware of that, where some of the rest of you may not be. And that's what cleansing gives us, is the discernment. So our inner gyroscopes and our subtle readers of reality tune in. Thanks, folks. Bless you for trying to be better people and make a better world through making yourself better through cleansing.